My beloved child, quiet your heart and let my voice touch the deepest hidden place within your soul. There are seasons in your life that do not come like a gentle breeze, but like a trumpet sounding in the wilderness, awakening the sacred thing I placed within you before you even understood yourself. Today, I do not come to make you afraid, nor do I come to add another burden upon your shoulders. I come as a merciful Father, placing my hand upon your head and saying, you are not as weak as you think. You are not as alone as you imagine. And you are not entering this battle by your own strength. I have gone before you. I am walking with you, and I will stand behind you like an everlasting rock. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. As it is written in Isaiah 41:10, not as an ornament for your faith, but as the very breath that lifts you up in the hour when your heart trembles. There is someone you love who lies within the reach of your intercession. And though your eyes have not yet seen all that is taking place, I clearly see the unseen winds trying to shake the roof over your household. Do not be quick to panic when I tell you this, for I do not reveal things so that you may sink into anxiety, but so that you may awaken in faith. Many things on earth begin in the hidden realm of the Spirit, an unnamed sorrow, a quiet distance, a sudden hardness of heart, a door to sin left slightly open, a dark thought slipping into the soul. All these can be subtle arrows that the enemy releases to wound what you hold dear. But, my child, I have placed within you a lamp not to be hidden under a basket, but to give light to your house. Your faithfulness, when joined with the grace of heaven, will become a wall of protection around the one you love, not because you have power in yourself, but because you belong to me. And those who belong to me do not pray in vain. Do you remember Moses standing on the hilltop while the people of Israel fought against Amalek down in the valley? Joshua and the people took up swords for battle, but above them, Moses lifted his hands toward heaven. When his hands were raised, the people prevailed. When his hands grew weary, the enemy advanced. Then Aaron and Hur supported his hands until the sun went down, and the victory belonged to my people. That story, my beloved child, is not merely a memory from an ancient time. It is a picture of steadfast intercession. Sometimes the person you love is fighting in the valley without even knowing it, while you are being invited by me to stand upon the high hill of faith, lifting your hands in prayer, keeping your heart in obedience, and refusing to let go until the light of victory descends. You do not need to see every detail in order to believe that prayer has power. You only need to know that I am the one who hears silent groaning and counts every tear you shed. Therefore, do not take lightly the trials you have passed through, the seasons of loneliness, the nights when you thought your heart had shattered, the times when you had to rise again after being misunderstood, the wounds you hid beneath a smile. I have not allowed any of them to be wasted. I have used them like fire refining gold, not to destroy you, but to make your faith more solid, your spiritual eyes clearer, and your heart more compassionate. There are lessons you once thought were only pain, but now they will become weapons of wisdom. There are tears you once thought had fallen meaninglessly to the ground, but I have kept them in my vessel. When you enter the hour of intercession for the one you love, you do not enter as a child who has never known storms. You enter as a soul I have carried through many deep waters, so that now you know how to cling to me, not with empty words, but with a faith that has been tested. Remember this, my child, the battle into which you are being called is not an argument between one person and another, not merely resistance of temperament, nor a conflict that can be solved only by reproachful words. My word is spoken in Ephesians 6:12, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against authorities, against the powers of this dark world. Therefore, do not allow your heart to be drawn into bitterness. Do not take anger as your armor, resentment as your sword, or fear as your voice. Your armor is righteousness. Your shield is faith. Your sword is my word. And the breath of your victory is secret prayer filled with power. When you kneel, heaven is not silent. When you ask in my name for protection, things you cannot see are being reordered according to holy order. The enemy often does not begin with a loud roar. He often comes through small distractions, prolonged weariness, the thought that prayer changes nothing, or the whisper that you are not good enough to be used by me. But my beloved child, learn to discern that voice. I never call you by condemnation. I correct you with love, lift you by grace, and send you forth with peace. The enemy wants you to forget who you are. I remind you that you are a child of light. He wants you to look at your weakness. I tell you to look at the power of the one who lives within you. He wants you to let go of the one you love. I teach you to love with a love that intercedes, that is patient, that hopes even when no sign of change has yet appeared. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. As John 1:5 declares, so continue to be light, even if the room around you still holds many shadows. Perhaps you wonder why I have placed this burden within your heart and not in someone else's. My child, it is because I know you. I know the depths within you that even you sometimes do not understand. I know your heart is tender toward the pain of the one you love. I know you may weep, but you do not easily give up. You may grow weary, but you still know how to seek me. You may be afraid, yet you still desire to obey. I did not choose you because you are perfect, but because you allow me to hold you. David was not chosen because of a great outward appearance. When people saw him, they saw only a shepherd boy. But I saw a heart that turned toward me, and that very heart made him stand before Goliath, not in Saul's armor, but in the name of the Lord of hosts. So do not borrow the strength of the world to step into spiritual matters. Come to me with a pure heart, with honest prayer, and with faithfulness in the small things of each day. From today, I want you to be watchful but not panicked, strong but not hard-hearted, determined yet still gentle. Ask me to cover the mind of the one you love with light, to loosen invisible bonds, to close every door that leads into darkness, and to open the way back to peace. Bless instead of curse, support instead of condemn, be patient instead of forcing. There are souls that are not saved by the noise of winning an argument, but are drawn back by quiet love, by persistent prayer, by someone in the family willing to stand in the gap and say to me, Father, have mercy. As Abraham pleaded for Sodom, as Esther entered the king's court to intercede for her people, as the friend in Luke 11 knocked at midnight because he needed bread for another, so you too are invited to live a love that does not speak only with the lips, but also battles through faith. And in all this, remember that I do not place upon you the responsibility of saving anyone by your own strength. I am the Redeemer. I am the shepherd who goes in search of the lost sheep. I am the father who sees the prodigal son from far away and runs to embrace him before he can finish his apology. Your part is to stand faithfully in the place where I have positioned you, to pray, to love, to remain watchful, to keep your heart from bitterness, and to let my presence flow through you like living water. When you do this, your household will not only be sheltered by visible walls, but by the invisible grace of heaven. I will send peace into places of confusion, light into dark corners, wisdom upon your lips, and angels to guard every path your eyes cannot follow. My beloved child, Rise in the gentleness of faith. Do not rise as one trying to control everything, but as a child who knows that the Father reigns. Do not let fear govern you, for fear only blurs my voice. Let love lead you, for perfect love drives out fear. As 1 John 4:18 has engraved upon the hearts of those who belong to the light, I am covering you, and through your faithfulness, I am also opening a canopy of grace over the one you love. Therefore, pray when your heart is heavy. Praise when you have not yet seen the answer. Trust when you do not yet understand the road. And remember that in my hand, not one intercessory prayer falls uselessly to the ground. You do not fight alone. Heaven stands with you. And I, your Father, am guarding what you have entrusted to me, my beloved child. In these days when the earth still seems quiet and the sky appears to move along its ordinary rhythm, I want you to know that deep movements are silently taking place in the spiritual realm, beyond what human eyes can measure. Do not look at the eclipse merely as a passing shadow over the sun, nor regard it only as a sign that causes humankind to marvel before returning to old habits. I use the movements of the universe like a bell ringing through a vast sanctuary, not to terrify you, but to awaken souls that have slept too long in busyness, in the chase after emptiness, in worries that seem great yet cannot save the soul. As it is written, wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. Ephesians 5:14. I am calling you to awaken, not with the cold voice of punishment, but with the voice of a father bending down beside you, touching your shoulder, and saying, my child, it is time to open your eyes and see what I have prepared. There are those who have wandered far into the mist of doubt until they believed I had become silent forever. There are hearts locked tight by wounds, disappointment, and prayers not answered in the way they had hoped. There are souls so accustomed to living in darkness that they even fear the light when it draws near. But hear me. No door is too heavy for my grace to open. No depth too dark for my love to reach. I do not come near you with a stone in my hand, but with a hand marked by love. I do not call you back to shame you before heaven, but to wash the dust from your feet, bind up the wounds you have hidden, and place within you again a heart that knows how to live. The word I spoke through the prophet still resounds. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. Jeremiah 31:3. Therefore, if in this season someone suddenly feels their heart soften, if someone remembers me in the middle of the night, if someone weeps because of an emptiness they cannot name, then understand that it may be the footsteps of grace passing through the dry ground of their soul. There will be dreams that cause people to wake, suddenly, not from terror, but from the realization that their lives need to be realigned with a higher calling. There will be small but clear visions, arriving like rays of sunlight slipping through a doorway, enough for a wandering soul to know there is still a way home. There will be promptings in the conscience, encounters that appear accidental, and verses of scripture that suddenly touch the heart like a gentle flame. Do not despise such things, for I often sow heavenly seeds into the most ordinary moments. I once declared, in the last days, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions. Your old men will dream dreams. Acts 2:17. Do you see? I do not speak to you only in the temple, but also in the silent room, in the noisy street, in pain not yet formed into words, and in the moment when you lift your eyes to the sky and feel something sacred calling your name deep within. But my beloved child, do not be naive and think every awakening comes peacefully. When light begins to shine in, dust also becomes visible. When truth draws near, False voices quickly rise to confuse you. The enemy of the soul does not always need to roar like a storm. Often, he only whispers enough to make you question what I have promised. Enough to delay your obedience. Enough to make you trade peace for a fear that appears to be wisdom. He will sow in the human heart the old question from Eden, did God really say? He wants you to look at the darkness and forget that the sun is still there, to look at upheaval and forget that my throne is not shaken, to look at your weakness and forget that my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, guard your heart like one guarding a lamp in the night, not allowing the wind of confusion to blow it out, nor letting the oil of faith run dry because you are too busy listening to the voices of the world. Remember the story of Elijah when he fled into the wilderness, so exhausted in heart that he asked to die. That prophet had seen fire fall from heaven and had witnessed my power revealed before the people. And yet there came a moment when he was weary, lonely, and thought he was the only one left standing. But I did not come to him with harsh rebuke. I sent an angel with bread and water so that he could eat, rest, and continue the journey. Later, on Mount Horeb, I was not in the powerful wind that tore the mountains, nor in the earthquake, nor in the fire, but in a gentle whisper. 1 Kings 19:12. My child, this is what I want you to understand in this season of awakening. Not every loud voice is my voice. Not every shaking means I have abandoned you. And your weariness does not mean I am far from you. Many times, at the very moment you think you no longer have strength to go on, I am preparing bread for you, water for you, and a whisper gentle enough to heal what noise cannot touch. Therefore, when you see many people confused by changes, become a gentle lamp, not a trumpet that adds more fear. Do not use signs and wonders to make hearts tremble in despair. Use them to remind others that I am still calling, still forgiving, still leading the way. I want you to speak with mercy, intercede with pure tears, stand firm with humility, and love with a love that does not exalt itself. Some will return after many years of distance. Some will kneel for the first time with broken hearts. Some will begin asking questions they once mocked. Do not rush to judge their journey. The Good Shepherd does not despise the lost sheep when he finds it among thorns, but rejoices and carries it home on his shoulders. So it is with me. I do not measure how far you have gone in order to decide whether I will love you. My love has gone before you, searched for you, called you, and waited for you to turn your face back. In the hours when chaos seems to increase, engrave this upon your heart. You do not belong to chaos, you belong to me. The world may shake, public opinion may change from day to day, and human hearts may grow restless like waves driven by the wind. But do not hand the steering wheel of your soul over to fear. My word assures you that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future will be able to separate us from the love of God. Romans 8:38-39. No shadow in the sky can hide you from my eyes. No upheaval in the world can snatch you from my hand if you remain in me. Breathe in me, trust me, and allow the Holy Spirit to guide you step by step. So, my beloved child, enter this season with a heart that is awake yet peaceful, with eyes open yet not panicked, with a soul sensitive yet not carried away by every rumor. Pray more, love more deeply, forgive more quickly, and listen to me more attentively. Let my light shine into the hidden rooms of your heart where fear, bitterness, doubt, and old wounds still remain. I do not come to shame you for them. I come to turn them into places where grace can dwell. And when the eclipse passes, when the light appears fully again in the sky, remember that what I long to see is not only the return of the sun, but also your return, a return to pure faith, to holy purpose, to your first love, to my embrace. Be at peace, my child, for I am the one who keeps you. I will lead you through every darkness, and even in the hour when the world seems to shake, I will place beneath your feet a firm foundation, so that you may know that whoever takes refuge in me will never be put to shame. My beloved child, let your heart soften beneath my gentle light, for I know there are times when you look at yourself with eyes that are too severe. You remember the moments when you were weak, the times when you moved slowly, the times when your prayer had barely risen before doubt pulled it down, and then you quietly thought that you were not pure enough to receive peace, not strong enough to receive blessing, not good enough to be cherished by me. But my child, I do not look at you with the cold scale of the world. I do not count the cracks in your soul to decide whether I will love you. I look deeply into your heart, where you still tremble, yet still desire to turn toward the light, where you are weary yet still long to live according to righteousness. There, I see a child who is trying, and that quiet effort is more precious before me than every bright display of outward glory. My word says, people look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart, 1 Samuel 16:7. So do not let the judgment of this world drown out the voice of my love within you. Perhaps you once believed that blessing is only for those who never stumble, that peace belongs only to souls that are always steady, and that my guidance comes only to those who have already become perfect. But today I tell you, grace is not a reward for those who consider themselves worthy. It is the river of living water that flows to those who know how to open their hearts before me. If my love could be bought by achievement, you would forever fear that you had not paid enough. But my love is covenant. Mercy, the arm of a father reaching out before you even know you need to be saved. For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith, and this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. Ephesians 2:8. Do you see? What I give you does not begin with your perfection, but with my inexhaustible kindness. Therefore, when small thoughts whisper that you are not worthy of love, bring them and lay them at my feet. Do not argue with darkness by your own strength. Let my word become the lamp within your heart. I do not protect you because you have never been wrong. I protect you because you are my child. I do not guide you because you always know how to choose rightly. I guide you because I know there are paths you cannot see with human eyes. I do not bless you so that you may become proud, but so that you may realize my love is wider than the limits you have placed upon yourself. Just as a shepherd does not leave a weak sheep behind the flock, I do not leave you behind simply because you walk slowly. I bend down, bind up your wounds, lift you, and call you onward with a voice full of patience. Remember David, the shepherd boy whom people considered small, not one who seemed chosen in the eyes of his family, and certainly not the image of a king according to human standards. When the prophet Samuel came to the house of Jesse, the tall older brothers passed before him, but I did not choose according to outward appearance. I called David in from the fields, where the scent of sheep still clung to his hands, where his life had no throne yet, no victory yet, no songs of praise yet. I saw in him a heart that sought me, and from that ordinary place I anointed him, my beloved child. That story does not belong only to ancient days. It is a reminder for you today that I can see holy value in you even when you are standing where others do not notice. I do not need you to build a throne for yourself before I call you. I only need your heart to belong to me. The good things I have prepared for you are the same. They do not come because you have forced time to bow to you, but because they arrive in the season I have appointed. There are blessings that, if they came too early, would overwhelm you. Doors that, if opened too quickly, would lead you into places where your heart was not yet steady enough. desires that must be refined before they become a gift. I do not delay because I have forgotten you. I wait for the right time because I love you. He has made everything beautiful in its time, Ecclesiastes 3:11. And within that right time is wisdom beyond your sight. You see only today and worry about tomorrow. But I see the whole road, the whole harvest, and even the things you do not yet know how to name. Therefore, do not be quick to grieve when what you long for has not yet come. A seed does not become a tree in one night, but beneath the quiet soil, life is still working according to my wondrous rhythm. Sometimes you ask for success, but first I give you perseverance. Sometimes you ask for outward peace, but first I build peace within you. Sometimes you desire to be delivered from every trial, but I take your hand and walk you through the trial so that you may know you are not as fragile as fear has told you. I prepare not only the gift for you, but also you for the gift, so that you may receive it with a mature, humble, and grateful heart. You will not lack what is necessary for the journey I have set before you. For I am the Father who knows what you need before you ask. As my only begotten Son taught, your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. Matthew 6:8. So breathe out the anxieties that have clung tightly to your heart, and allow trust to replace fear. I know the days of waiting are not easy. Sometimes you see others stepping into their season of blooming while you feel as though you are still standing in dry ground. Sometimes you ask yourself whether you have been forgotten behind, whether the door prepared for you is closed. But my child, not every flower blooms in the same season, and not every promise wears the same form. I am writing your story with its own ink, not borrowing the pattern of anyone else. What I am doing in your life may be quiet, but it is not small. It may seem slow to your eyes, but it is never late, according to my purpose. When you place your trust in me, anxiety will no longer rule the throne of your heart. It may still knock at the door, but it has no right to reign. It may still whisper, but it has no right to define your future. Therefore, my beloved child, lift your head in humility and hope. You do not need to force yourself to become worthy before receiving my love. Receive that love, and then allow it to heal the very thing that makes you feel unworthy. Walk with faith that I am keeping you, even though you cannot yet see the whole picture. Let my peace cover your mind like a holy garment. For the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your thoughts in Christ. Philippians 4. End quote. What you need will come at the hour I know is best. Guidance will shine when you need to take the next step. Grace will be enough when you need to endure. And the blessing I have prepared for you will not be lost along the way, because my hand holds it, just as my hand is holding you. Be at peace. My child, I do not only give you good things, I also teach you to recognize that I, myself, am the greatest goodness of your life.